Houston Astros embark on the second half of the season after a fun first half, 25 games over 500, second best first half in franchise history. A lot of dramatic wins as well. The Alex Bregman walk-offs, he had two of them. Also, Carlos Correa walked one off as well, as the Astros have had a very fine first half here, leading the AL West by 3.5 games over the Seattle Mariners. Today, they'll play the final game of a 9-game homestand. They've already wrapped up a winning homestand, but a chance to go 6-3 and win this series against Toronto. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Blummer, we've seen the Astros in this homestand win 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. Same thing against Kansas City. Now a chance to go for 3 in a row against the Toronto Blue Jays team.
And that's the entire idea. A.J. Hinch has instilled the idea, go out and win every series. You're going to end up pretty good in the end of the season. Not only do they have a chance to win the series, another happy flight.
It could be a happy flight going into their final road trip before the All-Star break. Last night was a combination of everything that's been successful this year.
They just continue to put the bat on the baseball and mostly the barrel on the baseball. A lot of damage being done by Alex Bregman, but some quality ABs. And with the offense, they've been getting some dramatic defense. Jake Marisnick, it's been a rough year for him overall, but doing a great job out there, picking up his pitcher. Charlie Morton, when he wasn't striking guys out, he gave up that ball to Jake Marisnick where he picked him up. But the strikeouts have been a big key for the Houston Astros as far as starters are concerned, and 13 of them last night for Charlie Morton.
When you compare this year to last year after 81 games, a lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities, and they're actually a better ball club. That run differential for me is amazing. That tells me that the offense is getting back on track, but also that the starting pitching is doing a phenomenal job, because that bottom right number, 246 runs allowed by that starting staff, and that overall pitching is pretty amazing to me.
Pitching has carried them throughout 2018. It's been a fun first half as the Astros play game number 82 on the season. They'll wrap up this homestand in the final game of this series with the Blue Jays coming up next. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Volkswagen. When we come back, we'll be joined by Bart Ennis. He will ask, who is the Astros' first half MVP next?
Hey, where are you? I looked out there for you. Yeah, why don't you come up here behind home plate? These are great seats. Hey, you should come on over here. Oh, those Portuguese tacos are great, and Shake Shack. Altuve made a great play. Are you going to come back here and get some food? The popcorn's really good. No, you're not bothering me at all. I got plenty of time to talk. Yeah, the great seats, people in front of me are a little obnoxious, but did you see that play that Reddick made out there in the right field corner? Fantastic. I think they're going to win this game going away.
Our old friend Bill Brown loves his popcorn. Welcome back to Minute Maid Park, everybody. Fans making their way in, expecting another good crowd today, hoping to see the Astros win this series against the Toronto Blue Jays. And then they're going to stick around afterwards as they're going to show The Sandlot on the big screen here at Minute Maid Park, one of the best baseball movies ever made. So it's going to be a lot of fun today at Minute Maid Park. The crowd that was here last night also had a lot of fun as the Astros shut out these Jays. And it was a performance that was typical of the way the Astros have played this year. Great pitching. 3 pitchers combined on a 5-hit shutout, and then they broke open a close game with 5 runs in the 8th. A lot of stars on that team last night, a lot of stars on this team during the first half of the season. So we thought we'd break out the Chevy Stroh poll early and ask you, since we have played 81 games, who is your overall Astros first half MVP? A, Jose Altuve, B, Alex Bregman, C, Carlos Correa, D, Justin Verlander. And you can make a case for all 4 of these guys when you look at the numbers and break it down. Jose Altuve is an easy choice. Once again, leading all the majors in average and hits. Bregman is having a great month of June with 24 RBIs. Carlos Correa has become not only an explosive player offensively, but the best fielding shortstop in the game. And everybody knows what Justin Verlander brings to this team, his ability and his intensity. So go to @ATT Sportsnet SW and cast your vote. And we'll have the results for you a little bit later in the game. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Bart, always good when you have a lot of choices in the first half of a season. Probably could have had more than 4 because the Astros have had that many stars this year. Dallas Keuchel gets to start today against this lineup for John Gibbons and the Toronto Blue Jays. Randall Grichuk will lead things off, followed by Teoscar Hernandez. Yangervis Solarte is the third baseman. couple of switch hitters in the lineup, but they are all right-handed today against Dallas Keuchel. Steve Pearce, the DH, gets his first start of the series. Kendrys Morales bats fifth. Kevin Pillar, Aledmus Diaz, Luke Mailey, and Devin Travis round out your lineup for John Gibbons.
Left-hander Dallas Keuchel going for your Houston Astros. This will be his second start here at home on this homestand. He faced Kansas City earlier, went 6 innings, didn't give up an earned run. This will be the first time he has faced the Toronto Blue Jays since 2015. In his career, he is 3-0 against these Blue Jays with a 3.62 ERA.
Dallas has been very good his last couple of starts against Kansas City. Not allowing an earned run in 12 innings. As kind of crazy that he hasn't faced the Blue Jays in over 3 years, as Plummer said, but he keeps skipping them the last couple of seasons. And he'll face Randal Grichuk to get this game started. First pitch is a strike. Grichuk, the star of the game on Monday night. Jake Marisnick pulled the same trick last night on the Toronto Blue Jays. Both outfielders saved a home run, or in Marisnick's case, a 2 RBI extra base hit. And both outfielders provided some offense with a multi-run home run of their own. Grichuk a +5 and Marisnick a +5 in their respective wins. The 0-2 pitch from Dallas is up high for a ball. It's 1-2. Dallas makes his 17th start of the year. Two contrasting styles today. Dallas keeps the ball on the ground better than anybody, and Marco Estrada puts the ball in the air more than any other starter. Grichuk's had a lot of friends and family in attendance for this 3-game series with the Blue Jays in town. Rosenberg, Texas, just his 3rd, 4th, and 5th games played in this stadium that he attended as a kid growing up, about 30 miles or so southwest of Houston. Ball's hit hard towards left. Tony Kemp will watch it bounce off the wall. Kemp plays it quickly. Grichuk still going for second, and he will be safe. A leadoff double for Grichuk to start this game.
Dallas trying to pound that inside corner with a couple pitches on our MD Anderson strike zone. This one stays on that inside corner. Grichuk did a great job with just a real compact swing, getting the barrel to it. I think you're going to see some teams challenge Tony Kemp out there in left field. He does make some spectacular plays, but still that infield arm doesn't play too well in the outfield sometimes.
Ball didn't get to him quite as quickly as he thought off the wall. It looked like Marwin could have cut it off. It maybe helped out a little bit too, as Teoscar Hernandez takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Teoscar had a 3-hit game here on Monday. Followed up with a single and 4 at-bats last night. He's had a good series against his former team. 4 for 9 and a 2-0 count here. And Dallas behind in the count, 3-0. Got ahead of Grichuk 0-2, and then the count went to 2-2. So Dallas now 3-0 with Teoscar Hernandez. Just underway on a Wednesday afternoon. Astros and Blue Jays wrapping up this 3-game set. And Keuchel loses Hernandez with a 4-pitch walk. Defense behind Dallas Keuchel today. You already saw Tony Kemp. He's in left field checking out that scouting report that he keeps in his cap, with Jan Herbis Solarte batting. He's flanked by George Springer in center and Josh Reddick in right. Alex Bregman at third base. Marwin gets the start again at short. The Astros are 9-0 when he starts on the left side of the infield. 7-0 as a shortstop. Jose Altuve at second. Yuli Gurriel on first, and Max Stassi behind the plate today. Back-to-back days off for Carlos Correa, who has a little bit of soreness in his back. AJ not playing him in the day game or the night game last night. Here's Solarte. He is a double play candidate. And pops one foul out of play. You've got Dallas, who gets a lot of ground ball outs, and Solarte, who is tied with Wilson Ramos for the most double plays in the American League. Ball hit hard past Alex Bregman towards the corner. That'll score Grichuk easily. The Blue Jays with an early run in this one on the RBI double by Solarte.
It's a cutter on the inside corner. Dallas Keuchel trying to lock up Solarte and get that ground ball double play. But on our Mattress Firm Supermo, you can see he does a good job pulling the hands in to get the barrel to it. Cutter early on doesn't really have that bite to it, trying to get in on the hands and stay off that barrel. And again, it's that first inning for Dallas Keuchel is causing issues.
Infield back with Steve Pearce batting. Pearce fouls one towards the Blue Jays dugout.
Blue Jay hitters seem very conscious of that cut fastball in the inside corner. Doing a good job of staying behind it too, not trying to get out there and yank it foul.
Double, walk, and double. Jan Hervis Solarte with an RBI, his 45th of the season. That is best amongst the Blue Jays. Dallas trying to work out a further trouble facing Steve Pearce. Has good numbers against Pearce, does Dallas. He's faced him 17 times. Pearce has 2 hits and has struck out 10 times. Earned run on the board against Dallas. First time since he's allowed 5 earned runs against the Rangers back on June 10th. Went back-to-back starts without an earned run against Kansas City. Now it's 2-1 to Pearce.
Runner on third base. We'll have a chance to check out our StatCast sack fly meter, I guess we'll call it. But that red line usually means that they're going to throw that guy out at home plate. It combines the speed of that runner at third base and the arms of the outfielders. Josh Reddick, George Springer, and Tony Kemp out there playing a little bit behind that green zone.
Now the count 2-2 on Pearce. Pearce coming back from a left oblique injury, missed almost the entire month of May and first 3 weeks of June. Since then, he's 6 for 14 since coming off the DL. Just misses at 3-2. Ball 4. Dallas walks his second batter of the inning. And the first 4 Blue Jays have reached today.
So talking about Dallas's first inning, his ERA by far the highest of any inning in the first inning at a 7.31 ERA. The OPS, which is pretty large at 932 in the first inning. That's a combination of on-base percentage and slugging percentage.
Kendrys Morales, the hitter, playing first base today. Switch hitter, batting right-handed, 242 as a righty, 241 overall. One of his 8 home runs has been as a right-hand hitter. Dallas struggling with the command of the zone a little bit, a couple of walks, and now he's behind Morales, 2-0 with the bases loaded. 12 of his first 20 pitches today have been outside of the strike zone. Another strike. In the air to center. Springer moves to his left, tagging is Teoscar Hernandez. He will score. Sacrifice fly for Kendrys Morales, and the Blue Jays lead 2-0. First out of the inning for Keuchel.
You can see too many pitches elevated when Keuchel is out there. But Kendrys Morales got one up, did a good job getting that deep enough in center field to score. Teoscar.
Here's Kevin Pillar. Called strike on the inside corner. Ground ball just fouled down the third base line.
Woo.
Could have been the third double of the inning for the Blue Jays. Missed by less than a foot.
Pillar's been doing a good job at racking up doubles too. 24 on the season. This one trying to sneak it inside that third base bag. Just bending foul.
Another ball ripped. That's a fair ball down the line. Going out to get it is Marwin. The play is at third, and safe at third, just ahead of the throw that got away is Steve Pearce. 3-0 Blue Jays on the single by Pillar.
This one he was able to keep fair, waited just a hair longer. Barreled it up nicely. Adrian Johnson, the third base umpire, staying on that call to call it fair. Great job by Marwin. Knows this ballpark. When it ricochets off that wall, he's got to sprint out there. Kind of surprised him that he saw Steve Pearce going for third, but still able to hold Kevin Pillar at first base. Keep that double play in order. We talked about the amount of ground balls Dallas Keuchel can go out there and get. He's leading the American League in that ground ball rate at 55.6%. Could desperately use one right now.
Yeah, tough start today for Dallas. 5 of the first 6 batters reached base, and the only one that's been retired was a sacrifice fly scoring a run. Now Dallas will face Aledmys Diaz.
Early on, these Blue Jay hitters are doing a good job of sitting on that inside pitch. Most of them cut fastball. That last one was a slider.
Off the mound, but still squirts through into center field. That'll send Pillar to third and will score another run. Steve Pearce crosses the plate. 4-0 Blue Jays. 4 hits and 2 walks in the inning.
It's a good pitch to hit.
Astros will have to be coming from a pretty big deficit early on before their first at bat today. Already 4-0, still runners on first and third. Here's Luke Maile. Maile hitting over 300 this year against lefties, 306. 241 overall. That ball's hammered to left, sending Tony Kemp back. That'll be deep enough to score a run. Now 5-0 Blue Jays on the sacrifice fly by Luke Maile.
this first inning. Even the outs are producing runs for the Toronto Blue Jays.
As an offense this inning, they are 4 for 4 still. Both outs have been sacrifice flies. 4 for 4, 2 sac flies, 2 walks. Dallas facing the 9th batter of the inning, and already bullpen action going for the Astros in this first inning. Brad Peacock is loosening up in the Houston bullpen. Devin Travis the batter. Dallas has thrown 30 pitches in this inning, 15 strikes, 15 balls. And the strikes have been hit hard. Three and 0. Now the count's full. Crowd trying to help out here. Some still settling into their seats. Shocked to see the number on the board this quickly for the Blue Jays. This is a soft grounder towards Dallas, who has the play and makes it to first to get through the inning. Blue Jays send 9 to the plate in the first and lead 5-0. Presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer leads things off, followed by Alex Bregman, who had a big game last night. Jose Altuve leads everybody in hitting. Yuli Gurriel's been hot lately. Evan Gattis at DH. Josh Reddick in right field. Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Max Stassi behind the plate, and Tony Kemp in left.
Marco Estrada going for the Toronto Blue Jays. He will be making his 16th start on the season. The ERA is at 4.48. He has given up 14 home runs in those 15 starts, and right-handed hitters have been getting after him for a .281 average and 10 of those 14 home runs. We know that the Astros are loaded with powerful right-handed bats in their lineup.
George Springer had a double in his final at bat last night, and that had to feel good, snapping an 0 for 20 for him. Even carry that forward this afternoon. Mentioned Estrada giving up the 14 home runs in 15 starts, similar to last year where he averaged about a home run every start. 33 starts, 31 home runs allowed. He allows a lot of fly ball outs. In fact, nobody with a higher percentage of fly ball outs among starting pitchers in the American League. We'll see if the Astros can dig into this 5-0 early deficit. There's a ball popped high in the air. Third baseman Solarte. Oh, catcher's interference. Catcher's interference. There is no out on that play. The Blue Jays are throwing the ball around thinking that's an out.
We're going to check out our HEB player. No player does more, and it's Alex Bregman, 4 for 5 last night with 3 doubles, a home run. 4th Astro in history of the Astros to have 4 extra base hits in one game.
The left side of the Blue Jays infield and the second baseman Devin Travis were throwing the ball around the infield after the pop-up, and then Solarte looked at his dugout and said, what happened? They didn't even realize that that was not an out. Springer lives on the catcher's interference. That's one way to get things started. Hard to hit a ball that high in the air on a catcher's interference.
He is that strong.
Alex Bregman becoming the first Astro in team history with 4 extra base hits in a game at home. Previous 3 times that happened, the Astros did it while playing on the road, and he crushes one to left, but he hooks it foul. Alex getting in front of that one. Home run distance, but a count of 0-2.
Laser. Back to George's catcher's interference. The pitch is down and in. You can see he catches that glove. You can see Maley bring that glove back. That's the reaction when that bat hits it, but still able to get the barrel out in front. Would have been interesting to see if he actually didn't get the catcher's interference, if he would have smoked that one out of here. Still got the barrel to it.
Bregman does not chase there. It's 1-2. Alex last night hit a double in the 3rd, a hustle double in the 5th, double down the line in the 7th, and then the home run into the Crawford boxes in the 8th. 4 consecutive extra base hits for him. This one's popped up. No catcher's interference this time. The first baseman Kendrys Morales makes the play for out number 1. Now bring up Jose Altuve.
Seen a couple of sliders early on from Marco Estrada. He doesn't throw that pitch very often. I think they're confusing it on some of the stat sheets that we see with that cut fastball. Around 84, 85 miles an hour. Barely throws it 7% of the time, but it's getting crushed at 353 is the average against it. But maybe that's the option to combat some of these right-handed hitters in the Astros lineup.
OPS of close to 1,000 at 977 on that pitch too. First one misses to Altuve. Jose coming in with 110 hits on the season at the halfway point, puts him on a pace for 220. That'll be the 2nd highest total in his career. Had 225 hits in the 2014 season. Altuve leading all of baseball in hits and in batting average at 345. Also leads in all-star fan balloting as well. Reigning AL MVP has a lead of over 100,000 on Mookie Betts. For the most votes, by far he's leading at second base. Altuve looks at a pitch outside, and now it's 3-1. So this is what the Astros need to do, just chip away. Can't get them all back at once. But A.J. Hinch knows he'll take his chances with this offense in 9 shots at the Blue Jays. Called strike on the edge. Altuve thought he may have drawn the walk. It's 3-2. Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire today.
That first pitch was a pretty good pitch just off the outside corner in a similar spot. The 5th pitch, and that one's called a strike.
George on the move. Altuve laces one foul. like your chances with Altuve putting the ball in play against Marco Estrada. Estrada 7.3 strikeouts per 9, lowest in his career. He will go to that changeup a lot when he is looking for a strikeout. Floats the changeup in there, but too high. So the Astros have 2 runners on just like that, trying to come back after a 5-run top of the first. Altuve, a night after tying his career high with 3 walks, draws another one here to start the game. That pushes a runner into scoring position, which is usually good news with Yuli Gurriel batting. Yuli at .450 with runners in scoring position. Has 8 RBIs on this homestand. In the dirt, 1-0.
.450. It's incredible.
I mean, no one's even close.
And he has a chance literally every day this month in June. It's amazing that he has that many opportunities and he's capitalizing on all of them.
He was .474, had a couple of at-bats yesterday, unable to cash them in. Still 17 for his last 32 with runners in scoring position. Ball's popped in the air towards the right field line. Long run, Grichuk still coming, and that'll fall in for a foul ball. Morales also back there. Nobody really had a chance.
Yeah, that was well placed. The pop time on the caught foul ball to Selfie is impressive these days.
New stat. Got to document it.
Absolutely. You've got to be incredibly patient on Marco Estrada's changeup. He's averaging 89 miles an hour on the fastball, but that changeup is averaging 77.
Yuli pops this one into right field. Springer is tagging. See if he goes. Just a bluff as Grichuk makes the play for out number 2. Oh, 2 outs. That'll bring up Evan Gattis. Evan Gattis having himself quite a month. 8 home runs. Tied for second in the major leagues. 27 RBIs this month. Leads the major leagues. And he's got a chance with one swing of the bat here, not only to get the Astros back in the game, but also to set a new franchise record for RBIs in the month of June. Sitting on 27 right now. The franchise mark is 29, set by 2 players. That ball's driven deep to left center field, towards the wall and off the top of the wall. Springer scores. Altuve being waved around, and he will score as the cutoff man is not hit. As Evan Gattis drives in 2 with a double, the Astros now down 5-2.
Evan Gattis tying an Astros franchise record now with 29 RBIs in the month of June. Tying the toy cannon and Jose Cruz. Man, a hanging fastball up over the plate, and Evan is all over it, barreling it up with that mighty yellow piece of lumber. Almost snuck this one out of here. Just that launch angle a little bit too low. You got to love the fact that the Astros, especially George Springer and Jose Altuve, if they have a chance to get up and get running, they're going to try and score that run at all costs.
Blue Jays may have had a play, but they missed all the cutoff men, and the ball just kind of found its way back to the infield. Josh Reddick bats. He's been on a roll lately, 8 for 12. Congrats to Evan for tying that franchise record. Still has another 3 games plus the rest of today to break the record. This one cued foul off the end of the bat.
Evan Gaddis's line drive off the top of the wall via StatCast. 107 miles an hour off the bat. A good launch angle, but just a tough part of the ballpark. Estimated 404 feet to that left center field gap. He has been punishing baseballs this month.
.25 pitches in this inning. So after Dallas, Keuchel was extended in the top of the first, throwing 34 pitches. Now the Astros putting a big number on Estrada in the bottom half of the first. There's a ball up the middle, base hit. Gaddis will score. Astros now down 5-3. Josh Reddick with another base hit.
Josh with 3 hits yesterday, continuing to swing the bat well. He loves swinging here at Minute Maid Park. And again, that pull shift, and we haven't seen the Toronto Blue Jays really pull either that shortstop or second baseman on either side of the bag. They pretty much stay on their side of the field. And in doing so, it benefits the Houston Astros right here because Diaz is unable to get over there and knock that ball down. Evans scores easily.
You know, day game after night game, you see a few mistakes made early, and so far we've seen the Blue Jays miss a cutoff man, and then everybody vacated second base after this hit by Reddick. Josh almost could have turned this single into a double.
You're right, because Diaz just bailed out. Devin Travis is going over to cover first base, but Pilar has to jog that one in.
So how about that? The Astros getting 3 back right away in the bottom of the first inning. 8 combined runs in the first, and a chance for more if Marwin can keep things alive. Marwin trying to snap it 0 for 20 as he takes a pitch down low. It's 1-0. Marwin has all 5 of his home runs as a left-hand hitter this season. Takes the fastball for a strike. It's 1-1.
Marco Estrada's been getting barreled up this season. We're seeing it here early on against the Houston Astros, but that barrel percentage against him, according to Baseball Savant, is up 3% to 10% against him getting barreled.
Marwin doesn't like that called strike. It's 1-2. That's a significant increase, 3%.
Yeah, over the course of a season, now 15, 16 starts into it. That 3% adds up to a lot of baseballs being hit hard.
There goes the runner. The pitch is taken for a ball. Maley's throw is a strong one, but Reddick in there. Just a little bit wide with the throw on the third base side, and Josh has himself his second steal of the year.
Good pitch to run on too. Off speed. Marco Estrada isn't one of the faster guys. Even with that slide step, allows Josh to get about 4 or 5 steps in. But Maley did a pretty good job throwing on a changeup, put a strike out there. But again, Diaz catching that ball well out in front of the bag and having to bring it back to try and get Josh.
Base hit here makes it a 1-run game. 2-2 the count to Marwin. High fly ball, deep center field. Pilar all the way back. He'll have a play on it in front of the warning track. And makes it and tosses it into the crowd. But a productive bottom of the first gets the Astros right back. It's 5-3.
driven by GMC. The Astros outfield still pretty amazed by this play. Josh Reddick getting posterized by Jake Marisnick, but 24 defensive runs saved is tied for 5th in Major League Baseball. And Marwin moving all over the field, has a phenomenal arm from the outfield. But as good as this pitching staff is, you got to get a little help from your friends every once in a while. And that outfield has done a great job of chasing down some tough line drives and fly balls in the gap.
Second inning baseball, Dallas Keuchel has to feel rejuvenated after a rough first inning, giving up 5 in the first, because he watched his offense score 3 in the bottom half of the first inning. Now facing the top of the order once again as the Blue Jays batted around in the first. Grichuk pops one up. On the infield, Alex Bregman is there. And that's 1 out.
Well, we talked about it, that first inning ERA for Dallas Keuchel is going to go up. But coming into this game, 7.31. The second inning, 2.81 ERA. Third inning, 1.69. And then the fourth inning is 2.25. So things trend in a great direction, but it's awesome that the Houston Astros offense is able to go out there and give him an extended time to kind of relax a little bit, regroup before he has to get back out on the mound, and hopefully things do turn around.
Dallas does as good a job as anybody having amnesia within the course of a start, where he can put that first inning in his back pocket and then start over. And we've seen him give up some runs in the first and then kind of lock it in.
Yeah, it's one thing to grind, but it's another to grind when you've given up 5 in the first inning. But I do give him credit, like you're saying, for having the poise to go out there and continue to battle.
Now he's only down 2 and realizes that with this offense for the Astros, down 2 is very manageable. Nice to see the Astros bounce right back with a 3 spot against Marco Estrada. Teoscar Hernandez with a count of 1-2, fouls one away. Hernandez walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Dallas walked a couple in that first inning. Both came around to score. On the ground, Altuve is there. Jose throws out his former teammate. They collided last year in Cleveland, the only game Teoscar Hernandez played for the Astros. Host clients or celebrate a special occasion at an Astros game. Minute Maid Park offers fans a variety of premium seating opportunities, including club and suite levels for any group size. Visit astros.com/suites or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to reserve your luxury suite today. Look at the suite level up here. Always a fun place to hang out and watch baseball. You know, Wednesday afternoon, if you're going to hold a business meeting.
Oh, man, are you kidding me?
Not a bad place. Catch a little baseball.
I'm in.
Afternoon snack or 2. Don Hervis Solarte puts the ball on the ground, and Dallas, after a 34-pitch first inning, needs just 8 in a 1-2-3 second.
The Miller Lite hold true moment later in today's game.
Bottom half of the second inning. Good crowd here on a Wednesday afternoon, wrapping up this 9-game homestand. We have had great crowds throughout the 9 games. Tampa Bay was in for 3, Kansas City in for 3, and now the Toronto Blue Jays wrapping up this series. Max Stassi will lead off in a 5-3 game. And he hits the ball off the end of the bat, probably breaks his bat as Solarte makes the play across. Or out number 1. Both pitchers a rocky first inning. Keuchel able to come back with a 1-2-3 second, and on a 1 pitch, Marco Estrada has an out here in the bottom of the second. Here's Tony Kemp. Tony batting .310 on the season, .340 his last 21 games. Estrada making his 7th career start against the Astros. Had good numbers against Houston coming in the previous 6. 2-0 with a 2.84 ERA. Catches the inside corner with a strike. It's 1-2.
Talked about that batting average at .340 in the last 21 games. His on-base percentage at .411. Doing a great job at the bottom part of this lineup. What that does is it turns this lineup over, and usually with a guy on base the way Tony Kemp has been going.
Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for Marco Estrada. 2 away in the second.
The Astros' new World Champions commemorative brick program gives you the option to customize a brick that will line Champions Walkway at Minute Maid Park. For details and info, visit astros.com/bricks.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's George Springer. He reached on catcher's interference his first time up and sends a soft pop up right to the second baseman. And after Dallas Keuchel rebounded with an 8-pitch top of the second, Marco Estrada needs just 7 in the bottom half.
Kubota, Houston Astros, a little bit different look, and that's in that starting rotation. The addition of Garrett Cole, and now the beginning of a full season with Justin Verlander in that rotation. You're seeing the Astros get off to an electric start. 81 games into the season. The record is 40-16 with a 2.88 ERA. That is a phenomenal start. Justin Verlander having the best start of his career. Been a lot of fun to watch him go out there, and the rejuvenation of Charlie Morton, that fastball breaking ball mix. Those starters combined for 580 strikeouts so far this season.
Well, when you do the comps before our broadcast, 17 versus 18, really the offensive numbers are about the same, maybe a slight edge to the 17 team at the halfway point. With the pitching separation, this year's team is just phenomenal.
It's amazing. Yeah, they've done such a great job. There's a close to 70-run difference as far as suppressing the opposing offense. And I think it's going to be interesting, too. A lot of the projections show the Astros having 100-plus wins, but they should be better than last year because August was really the month where they saw a dip in that starting rotation because Keuchel and McCullers went on the DL. Mike Fiers did pick him up for a while there.
Charlie Morton was on the DL.
Charlie Morton went on the DL. Correa wasn't playing. So August is going to be an interesting month for me just to watch these guys work through that, hopefully at full strength.
Well, it's been fun to watch this entire rotation stay intact since the start of the season. You don't see that very often. Only the Astros and the Rockies have used 5 starters this year. And to a man, they keep outdoing the next one. And I know this is a little bit of an anomaly to see Dallas give up 5 in the first, but the numbers this year based on the first half versus last year.
Yeah, that's that number on the bottom that Todd and I are talking about. Shoot, it's almost a 100-run difference in what they're able to do, but that offense continuing to roll, and they're getting better. That was after the offense really had a rough latter part of March and all of April, but they've really stepped it up in the last couple of months. And the big thing for us, for Todd and I, noticing early on, is the strikeout rate is continuing to decrease.
Kevin Pillar bats with 2 outs and nobody on. Astros starting the day with 419 runs scored, the best in baseball. But the Red Sox are close at 413. They have played in 1 fewer game. The Yankees almost have the same runs per game total, just a percentage point behind at 398, and they have played 4 fewer games than the Astros. But in the runs allowed department, the Astros have only allowed 246 runs this year. And the next closest teams in the National League, the Brewers and the Cubs, have allowed 284. So that is a big gap from the Astros to the next closest team. In the American League, the next closest team is the Yankees at 290. Garrett Cole, a big part of that.
Do we need to remind everybody they're pitching at Minute Maid Park?
Right? Where Dallas usually is very good, today hasn't necessarily been his best, but Dallas has pitched very well here in his home starts through his career. A little soft serve single for Kevin Pillar. He's now 2 for 2.
With the lowest starter ERA in the first 81 games of the season for the Houston Astros, and this is the first team in the Minute Maid Park era to do it. All those other teams are pitching in the Astrodome.
Remarkable. Foul ball at the plate. Diaz hit it twice while he was in the batter's box.
So he's down 0-2. That's one way to speed the game up.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't happen all that often, but
golf, it's a penalty stroke.
Only if you're looking.
Only if someone you're playing with saw it.
I would say if you're not paying your cart buddy off. Extra beverage every time the cart comes around helps.
The old TC Chen double chip. Dallas 52 pitches in, but needed 34 in that first inning. Diaz singled in the game's 4th run, and he chases here. Dallas comes back by striking out Diaz. Only needs 11 pitches in the 3rd inning, so he looks to be settled in after a tough first.
Noted, the Astros go undefeated on one of their best road trips ever. Julia and AJ soak in some baseball history, and you'll find out to whom Tony Kemp is giving hugs for homers. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the postgame show, only on AT&T Sportsnet. Want to see a lot of hugging going on in that dugout, guys. That's a good sign.
Yeah, why not? Still plenty of time for hugs for homers.
Hugs are good.
Tony Kemp was on Major League Baseball Network, MLB Network, before the game discussing his Hugs for Homers and the charity that it benefits. You can go to his Twitter page or Instagram page to get more info. Here's Alex Bregman leading things off in the bottom half of the third inning, taking a called strike. Bregman popped up his first time up. Alex with that big night last night put that OPS all the way up to 866. Pretty good company, Blummer.
Yeah, I'll take it. Kevin Bass back on 627. 1987 got 4 extra base hits in a game. Of course, Jeff Bagwell did it. And of course, Jose Altuve did it. Now Alex Bregman on that list. 3 doubles and a home run.
AJ said before the game to the media when Alex was batting .260, he told Joe Espada, his bench coach, that's about the best .260 I've seen in my career because the quality of his at-bats have been just so solid from day one until game 81. That pitch right there, Estrada gets a lot of chases with a high fastball, and Alex is very good at containing himself within the zone.
Yeah, you see it for a while at 89 miles an hour. And it's actually Sparky, Steve Sparks, our radio color analyst, and I were having a conversation earlier when we were getting ready for this ball game. And we were both kind of shocked, and we had the conversation in the sense that every time that we're writing down Alex Bregman doing something good, you check out the scoreboard, it only says 271. It's got to be the hardest 271 either of us have seen. And the reason we say it the way we do is because he's had such great at-bats, and every time he's making contact, it is barreled up.
That ball's driven to left center field. Well hit by Bregman to the wall and off the top of the wall. Almost the exact spot where Evan Gattis hit his double that drove in the first 2 runs for the Astros. I mean, that's off the Papa John sign. Almost the identical spot.
This might have been the hanging curveball or slider. A little more of a curveball coming in there at 78 miles an hour, but it just hung up there on a tee. That side swing is actually a beautiful shot of Alex Bregman doing a good job of getting the foot down, keeping the hands back as his eyes recognize that it is an off-speed pitch. Didn't let those hands leak forward, and then absolutely hammered it.
5 extra base hits in his last 6 ABs. Even Altuve's impressed with that. Here's Jose, who walked his first time up. And he grounds one towards third. Solarte looks Bregman back to the bag. Jose is out number 1. I'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yuli, another at bat with a runner in scoring position. Seems like that's been the case frequently lately for him. Three of his 5 at bats yesterday came with a runner in scoring position. Yuli flied out to right his first time up. And he drives one to center field. Pilar back, still on the move. He'll ease up as he gets in front of the track to make the catch. Bregman will tag and get to third.
Got a power player for you. It's presented by TXU Energy. Evan Gattis. This is an updated number. 53 RBIs leading the Houston Astros. He's now got 52 out of that DH spot for AJ Hinch. Early in the year, there was some concern. Good month, almost a month and a half, where Evan Gattis only had 8 RBIs. 29 in this month of June.
Yeah, who would have thought back then that this would be the only guy on pace for a 100 RBI season? Gattis' career high in RBIs is 88. Now up to 53 runs batted in. And a chance for more. He's got a stake on third base if he can drive in Bregman here with 2 outs. Gaddis takes the first pitch for a strike. Evan has a chance to set the franchise record too if he drives Bregman in for RBIs in the month of June.
If you break a record, you got to do it big, right?
Yep.
Just go ahead and hit 2-run bomb, tie this thing up.
I like the thought. After the May 11th game, he had 8 runs batted in. May 11th game was the quarter point of the season. 40 games in. So he was on pace at that point for 32 runs batted in for the year.
He's going to have that this month. It's unbelievable.
So 8 RBIs in the first quarter of the season, 51 RBIs in the first half of the season. And now he's started the second half with 2 already and a chance at a third or fourth here. Josh Reddick has been hot. He's on deck. 9 for his last 13. Will pop up around first base. Morales is there. And a leadoff double is not scored by the Astros as Bregman is stranded. It's still 5-3.
Here's your chance to show your spirit. Use hashtag UltimateSWFanARK on Twitter to show us, and you could win a VIP experience. So tweet now and win big. It's a big day for Arkansas. Dallas Keuchel on the mound. College World Series going on.
Luke Maley, the first batter he faces in the 4th inning. Takes a pitch for a ball. 2-0. It'll be Maley, Devin Travis, and then the top of the order, Randall Grichuk. Dallas, who walked 2 batters in the first inning behind the number 8 hitter, 3-0. Maley lined a sacrifice fly and an RBI his first time up. Lined out to left. Ball's hit sharply down to a knee. Marwin makes a nice play. Gonzalez at shortstop, retiring Luke Maley on a bullet.
Yeah, that ball hit pretty well, but Marwin kind of leans back a little bit, puts himself in a good position to catch this on that in-between hop. And he knows he's got plenty of time with that strong arm. Good footwork. Kind of open up that right foot around a 45-degree angle to open that body up a little bit, see that baseball a little bit longer. Maley's been hitting the ball hard.
Yeah. It hasn't been a big-time offensive catcher in the past, but he's put together some at-bats this year and has hit left-handers well. Here's Devin Travis. Travis takes a pitch in the dirt. It's 1-1. Astros last year defeated the Blue Jays 4 out of the 7 games in their season series, but they outscored them 63-34. So A.J. Hinch's group was able to win games in blowout fashion, and the Blue Jays were able to win the close ones. In this series, Blue Jays won the first night 6-3, and the Astros bounced back for a 7-0 win last night. Dallas misses here. It's 2-1. They will not see the Blue Jays until the last road trip of the year after today. Broken bat. Travis loses his bat and also grounds out to Altuve for the second out. Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Who am I? Brooklyn. Crafty lefty. 4-time All-Star. Brooklyn, crafty lefty, 4-time All-Star. Those are your clues on this Wednesday afternoon. If you know the answer or just want to guess, send your choices to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Here's Randall Grichuk, 2 outs, nobody on. Since a tough first inning where Dallas allowed 5 runs and 6 batters to reach base, he has retired 8 of the last 9. Grichuk tried to hold up, but he went too far, says the crew chief Brian Gorman, and Keuchel ahead 0-2. Swing and a miss. Keuchel, after throwing 34 pitches in the first inning, has now gotten through the next 3 innings and fewer pitches, and he's down 5-3. Buddies memberships presented by BBVA Compass are available for kids 12 and under. Buddies will receive 4 tickets to an Astros regular season game, a backpack, cap, socks, and exclusive benefits throughout the year for just $25 plus tax. Visit astros.com/buddies today to sign up. Josh Reddick takes the first pitch at the knees for a called strike. Reddick with a single and an RBI his first time up. Part of a 3-run first inning. Both starters off to shaky starts. Dallas giving up 5 in the first and Estrada giving up 3 in the first. Keuchel has bounced back to retire 9 of the last 10 in the last 3 innings, and now Estrada retired 7 of the last 8. Faces Josh Reddick. Nobody has a better batting average in the month of June in baseball than Reddick. Starting the day at 380 and a base hit his first time up. And a line drive, base hit into right field. Reddick on a roll. He's now 10 for his last 14. A guy who hits better here at Minute Maid Park than any other Astro continues to get the job done.
Changeup way up in the zone. That's why you see the head of the bat get out there in front, yank that past Kendrys Morales. Yeah, if I'm in the Astro dugout and I'm anywhere near Josh Reddick, I may have to put on some sunblock. He's on fire.
Marwin misses the changeup. Josh moving that batting average up to 277. It's been a long climb for him. In fact, it was not too long ago that Marwin had the better batting average between the two, but Marwin's been stuck in an 0 for 21 right now. And he misses the changeup again. It's 0-2.
Are you done thumbing through that
No,
Encyclopedia Britannica over there?
I want to make sure I got this right because I'm kind of stunned by this, because this is how much averages can change in a short amount of time. It wasn't that long ago that Marwin's average was higher than Reddick. It was Sunday's game.
Really?
Just 4 days ago. 3 days ago. He was going into the game 3 days ago. Marwin was batting 250 and Josh was batting 247. There's a ground ball sharply hit, but at the first baseman Morales, and when things are not going well, the hard hit balls are right at somebody, and Marwin hits into a double play.
And the Astros do hit into a lot of those. Good play by Kendrys Morales to Aledmys Diaz. Roll that double play up.
Yeah, going into Sunday's game, Jason Hamill versus Garrett Cole. Marwin was at 250, Reddick was at 247. And now Reddick's at 277 and Marwin's at 236. That's a big jump in both directions as Max Stassi bats with an 0-1 count.
Well, and if you go back 7 games ago, he was at the peak of his season at 259.
Marwin?
Yep.
It's been a streaky year for him. It seemed like he was on a roll with the best batting average in June for a while, and not just for the Astros, but in all of baseball, and now he can't buy one. The 2-pitch floats in there at 77 miles an hour. 1-1 pitch rather is now 1-2. Estrada does have 1 strikeout. Astros have had leadoff runners on in 3 of the 4 innings, but only cashed in once so far. Stassi grounded out the third his first time up. Max coming in with the best OPS amongst catchers at 827. It's with a minimum of 130 plate appearances. And he's on base again. Estrada frustrated with himself as he misses up high. And Stassi draws a 2-out walk. Second walk allowed by Estrada. Marco will turn 35 years old 1 week from tomorrow. Faces Tony Kemp here. Kemp rips one just foul down the line. A little quick on that 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, get him out of there.
Tony struck out his first time up. Astros know they'll have a winning homestand regardless of today's result, but 6-3 sounds a whole lot better than 5-4. After being ahead of the fastball, Estrada throws him a 1-1 changeup, and Tony was well up in front. Two and two. If Kemp keeps the inning alive, George Springer waiting on deck. That ball sliced for a base hit into left field. Tony Kemp with a base hit. Astros with 2 on now, and they'll turn it over to the top of the lineup.
Beautiful piece of hitting by Tony Kemp. Couple of foul balls in this AB, yanked the other way. That's a good pitch to go the other way, but Tony might have been thinking about trying to let that ball travel a little bit, and Estrada does him a favor by laying that fastball over the outside corner that Tony Kemp can just go with.
George has reached on catcher's interference, scored a run, and also hit a soft line drive to the second baseman Travis. Bullpen action for the first time for the Blue Jays here in the 4th inning. Pitch bounces in there, 1-0. Blue Jays came in with a bullpen that was taxed after the Angels 4-game series, including an extra inning game to wrap it up, but they have not had to use their key guys who have been used often, Tepera and Clippard, so far in this series. Joe Biagini warming up at this point for the Blue Jays. There's a fastball for a strike. Stassi on second, he walked. Tony Kemp on first. He picked up the Astros' 5th base hit. Two and two. Springer's not afraid to hit home runs with 2 strikes. More than a third of his career home runs have come with 2 strikes. Estrada with the 25th pitch of this inning. On the ground to short. Diaz will take the play at second, getting the force on Tony Kemp. So the Astros leave 2 on in the 4th, down 5-3. To go. Don't miss out on over 100 hot buys going on now. Great values in every department. Buy Ram trucks, built to serve. And buy Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough. Celebration of the 2017 World Champions. Off to their 2nd best start in franchise history through the midway point of this season. Last year they set the mark at 54-27. This year's team 53-28, just 1 game back of the pace set by the world champs as Teoscar Hernandez leads off the 5th. Both teams with 5 hits. Blue Jays got 4 of their 5 hits in the 1st inning. Has retired 11 in the last 12, make it 12 out of 13. Hernandez a check swing right back to Dallas, who flips it over to Yuli for the 1st out.
Done a good job getting the ground ball out. 7 ground ball outs with that ground out to himself.
And he's put this team right back in the game, a game that saw Brad Peacock warming up in the 1st inning, with Dallas really struggling. Now Dallas facing Yangervis Solarte. Starts him off with a strike on the outside corner.
And he's now 13 of 21 as far as first pitch strikes.
.34 pitches needed to get through the 1st. Only 33 pitches needed to get through innings 2 through 4. Pulled the string. Solarte cues 1 foul. It's 1-2. Solarte doubled in the 1st run. He's also grounded out. to center field. Springer started in. Now he goes back and has to reach up and make a nice play. George adjusting on the fly, able to track that one down.
I'm with George. I kind of thought that was off the end of the bat.
Ball kept carrying.
But a good adjustment and the athleticism of George to be able to make up some ground and make that catch. There's a little bit of panic that sets in.
I was going to say a little bit of look of panic after that initial step in. I'll bring up Steve Pearce. Pearce walked, scored a run, also flied out. One and one to count. Toronto starting the day 5 games under 500. Today will determine whether it's a winning or losing road trip for them. They were 3-3, splitting the 4-game series in Anaheim before heading to Houston. Dallas has 2 strikeouts in this game, both of them ending innings in the 3rd and the 4th. He's ahead of the count 1-2 on Steve Pearce. Swing and a miss. Dallas ends his 3rd consecutive inning with a strikeout. That's all 3 of them for him today. We're halfway home with the Blue Jays leading the Astros 5-3. Before by downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Astros down 2. All the runs being scored in this game in the 1st inning. Bregman with a double his last time up. He has been an extra base hitting machine with 5 extra base hits in his last 6 ABs. 4 of those have been doubles. And then the 2-run home run in his last at bat last night. 1-1 to count. Alex now has moved up to 3rd in the AL in doubles with 26, 1 behind Jose Abreu for 2nd. pitches. The changeup, it's 1-2. Estrada has thrown a lot of changeups today. Fastball drilled into center field for a hit. Pilar will try and cut it off. Bregman's going to challenge him, and the throw comes in high. Alex Bregman, another double. 2 doubles today, 5 in his last 2 games, and he's a leadoff base runner for the Astros in the 5th.
Alex Bregman's going all Craig Biggio on us right now. Nothing but doubles. Great job staying on this pitch, out off the plate, but lets it travel, gets the barrel to it, and shoots a line drive just over that second base position. And even with Pilar cutting that off, Alex Bregman had every intention of getting to second base. We've seen them run on Kevin Pillar's arm a couple times in this series. Not even a threat to get Alex coming into second.
2 of those 5 doubles for Alex the last couple of games have been hustle doubles. That one on Pilar. Also had one against Teoscar Hernandez last night, where he challenged a left fielder on a hit that a lot of people would settle for a single. So same situation for Jose Altuve as the last time. I think Altuve was a little frustrated that he didn't either get Bregman in or get him over, as he grounded out to third on the first pitch against Estrada last time up. This time he takes a pitch down low. After the first one missed, it's 2-0.
I know we throw a lot of numbers at the fans, but an OPS plus is a number that I check out. You need a lot of brain power and maybe that hat to cover it up. But the OPS plus number is interesting to me just because it's kind of a weighted OPS. Gives a lot of credit to those extra base hits. Alex Bregman coming into yesterday's game was at 138. Coming into starting today's game at 146. So he's seeing that OPS plus number jump quickly overnight. It'll jump again after tonight's 2 doubles.
Altuve chops one foul. It's 2-2. Altuve seems to be a little frustrated today with the cat and mouse fastball changeup game of Marco Estrada. He walked his first time up, grounded out his second time. Bregman once again in scoring position. Extra base hits in 6 of his last 7 at bats. Altuve reaches out and sends one towards shallow center. Pilar is there. No chance for Bregman to advance, and Altuve frustrated with himself. That's the first out of the 5th.
Yeah, Altuve's a team player. He also drives in a ton of runs, but I think with the way they were playing him to pull and knowing that that right side was wide open, I think that's what he was trying to shoot. Because if you do miss and you end up hitting a ground ball that way, you move the runner to third base, have him at third, less than 2 outs. But at the same time, do you realize how long a guy like Altuve has to wait for a pitch to get deep enough off Marco Estrada to go the other way with? That's what's tough.
Because he's so quick.
He's so quick, and the pitch is coming in there 89 tops. And a couple of changeups, like you pointed out, those are easy to roll over.
Same thing with Yuli. He's so quick, and that pitch has popped up. He has not had good at bats against Estrada today, as he pops up for out number 2.
Yeah, the Houston Astros like noise. They like it coming in pretty good rate of speed, but when you start to change speeds and pull the string a little bit like Estrada's been doing, that's how you keep him off balance and keep him off the barrel.
Here's a guy that barreled one up for a 2 RBI double his first time up, Evan Gattis. Astros have had the leadoff runner on now in 4 of the 5 innings. Bregman with a leadoff double in the 3rd, did not score. Leadoff double here in this inning, and he has stayed at second now with 2 outs. Last inning, 2 hits and a walk, so they have had traffic on the bases against Marco Estrada today, and unable to score since the 1st inning. Gattis takes a pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0. First three ABs for the Astros with runners in scoring position. They were 2 for 3. Gaddis the double, Reddick the RBI single. And since then they are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Bregman matching Jose Abreu with 27 doubles, now second in the American League. That's pop foul out of play. Actually right in front of us.
Sure is.
About 20 fans stood up for that foul ball, and one of the few that didn't stand up ended up with it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm getting a scouting report right here on who not to throw peanuts and Cracker Jacks to. Some bad hands.
I already picked out one of my targets.
Like it. You're going to throw it a little bit softer today?
What happened?
You were getting after it yesterday.
This ball just like that, drilled to left field deep, and this ball's off the wall again. RBI for Evan Gaddis. He'll head to second, and the Astros down by 1. 5-4 game.
It's a big RBI for Evan Gaddis. That will give him his 12th double and 30th RBI in the month of June, setting a new franchise record for the Houston Astros. Congratulations to El Oso Blanco.
A couple ambassadors for the Astros get bumped from the record books. What a month it's been for Evan.
And doing a great job staying on that fastball away, head down, nose on it, barrels it up, drives through it. Big 2-out RBI also for the Houston Astros, getting them 1 run closer to tying this thing up.
And a guy who's as hot as anybody right now, Josh Reddick, fouls one back. Josh 2 for 2 today. He is 10 for his last 14. Reddick drove in a run with a single in the first. Astros now have the tying run on second base. And Reddick down to the count 0-2. Reddick has moved that batting average up 30 points in his last 3 starts. Over the mound, playable. The shortstop Diaz is there. Reddick always hustles, but he's out at first.
History in the making. Evan Gaddis driving in Alex Bregman, exchanging places with back-to-back doubles here, putting Evan Gaddis at 30 RBIs in the month of June. 5-4 Toronto. Astros Ballpark Tour. Fans can check out areas such as the broadcasting booth, press box, dugout, scoreboard, and more. Visit Astros.com/tours to book your tour today. Hey, everybody. You can even come over here and sit in Todd's seat if you need to.
What?
Yeah. We're not here.
That's true. Yeah, you can sit here whenever you want. I hadn't seen that shot before. I didn't even know we were on.
Now we got ambushed right there.
So we usually get the snoop cam. Same angle. Our normal camera's right here in the booth. We like to call it right there.
Snoop-a-loop cam. Now we're ready and we're all posed up.
We had the extra camera for the how to keep score. We had cameras everywhere for how to keep score. Now
we got eyes on us.
Good thing about this camera in the booth is that it's on at all times.
Yes.
24/7. It's like a security camera. So if you're in the booth when we're not here, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Watch out.
Now that's the camera shooting both the game and us.
Yep.
But our little snoop camera up here, right there.
Sneaky cam.
Yeah. So if you visit the booth, people back at AT&T are watching.
Yeah. You know what's great is I'm sure they've got plenty of great video of me just stuffing my face with meal before every game.
Marwin from deep in the hole backhands and makes a strong throw to get Kendrys Morales. And that's one away. Our best in Texas power pitcher is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. It is Garrett Cole.
Yeah, looking back on that first half of the season, Garrett Cole getting traded over in the offseason, we were very impressed with what he's brought all season long, but this was the big game. On May 4th, he punched out 16 Arizona Diamondbacks. In electric fashion, too. Max Stassi did a wonderful job back there, but a lot of very good fastballs and breaking balls from Garrett Cole.
That is still the highest scored game in the Bill James metric of best pitch games of the season by far, including a couple of no-hitters. James Paxton and Sean Manaea, that guy in Arizona that night. It was just a pleasure to be a small participant in that game, just watching what he was doing.
Yeah, one of the best games I've ever seen. If not the best, especially since sitting up here in the booth. I mean, first broadcast I ever did with the Astros was Yu Darvish getting one out away from a perfect game. But what I saw that night from Garrett Cole was incredible.
A couple of opposite field base hits here from the Toronto Blue Jays. Kevin Pillar is on second. He's now 3 for 3 with his hit. And now Ledmus Diaz finds a hole on the right side. He's now 2 for 3. After Dallas had retired 15 out of 16, the Blue Jays with back-to-back hits.
Yeah, that first one from Pillar, he got a little bit quick on an off-speed pitch and kind of got off the end of the bat the other way. But it really looked like Diaz was trying to go that way with that shift on him.
Dallas had a little discussion with his catcher Max Stassi as Luke Maile steps in there. Maile's hit the ball hard twice, a line drive, sacrifice fly, and also a sharply hit ground ball and a nice play by Marwin. Luke has 2 of the top 5 exit velocities of the game. Doesn't have a hit to show for it. Evan Gattis has 2 of the top 5 exit velocities of the game, and he has 2 doubles to show for it. Brad Peacock, who warmed up in the first inning, loosening up again here in the 6th. Dallas had allowed 6 of the first 7 batters to reach base for the Blue Jays, then retired 15 out of 16, and now back-to-back hits. Love to get a ground ball at somebody here. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Good changeup down. Yeah, ground ball right here would be extremely nice.
No chase there. It's 2-2. Astros fans right above the Astros bullpen. No chase there for Maley, and the count goes full. Dallas needed 34 pitches in the first inning, but he has been very efficient since. 8 in the second, 11 in the third, 14 in the fourth, 12 in the fifth. Now trying to get through the sixth inning with a full count and 2 on.
He's done a great job of holding down the Blue Jays after that first inning and allowing the Astros to get back in it. But you're seeing Peacock up because they don't want to see this inning spiral out of control and create another big lead.
That's a walk to Maley. So Maley wouldn't expand the zone after Keuchel got ahead, and now the bases are loaded. Devin Travis, the batter. Travis has bounced back to the pitcher and also grounded out to second. Broke his bat last time on the ground ball. Takes a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. Two and 0.
Trying to induce the rollover with back-to-back changeups to start this AB, but Travis doing a good job of laying off it. Worked it into a hitter's count. Dallas will come with the fastball, but it's got to be that sinking fastball on the outside edge.
It's a swing and a miss, 2-1.
Good job down in the zone with it.
Double play percentage league average the last 3 years 11.5. Dallas at 17.5. Second in all of baseball the last 3 years getting a double play ground ball. There's a ground ball towards Altuve. He's going to have to hurry, and he drops the ball. Everybody's safe. Run scores. Everybody's safe on a potential double play ground ball. And that'll be the last batter that Dallas Keuchel will face. A.J. Hinch out of the dugout.
Jose Altuve got a little aggressive on this and eventually turned it into an in-between hop, and it ate him up. Trying to do a little too much to try and make sure they turn this double play. Instead of sitting back and make sure he got that good hop to make sure that first out. Ends up being an error.
So the inning prolonged. Dallas's day is done. Brad Peacock, the new pitcher, and we'll come back after this. Brad Peacock will take over here with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Brad Peacock, one of the more reliable bullpen guys in the league. 32 appearances this season, 2.16 ERA, 47 strikeouts. He got 3 of those strikeouts the other day against this Blue Jays lineup. Went in and gave up a hit, threw 21 pitches to get those 3 strikeouts.
First batter he faces is Randal Grichuk. Grichuk takes a slider away for a ball. It's 1-0. Grichuk doubled against Keuchel to start the game, popped up and struck out. Dallas had a rough start, a rough finish, was very solid in between. So far he's allowed 6 runs, but he is responsible for all 3 on base. Diaz on third, Maile on second, and Travis on first. Grichuk misses the slider. It's 1-2. Travis will get an RBI on that fielder's choice and error. Can't assume a double play. Altuve still hands on his hips. He has not been happy with himself today.
Some rough ABs, now an error.
Swing and a miss. Peacock gets the big strikeout with the bases loaded and 1 out. Getting Grichuk on the slider.
Big sweeping slider from Brad Peacock. Really seems like in his last 10 or 12 outings he's really found the grip on that slider and the release point. But that is just a wave from Grichuk on a great slider. Tough situation Brad's come into here too.
I agree with you. I think the June slider has been a different shape than the April or May slider we saw. There it is again. Teoscar misses at 0-1.
That was the pitch that really turned the corner for him last year. Did great work out of the bullpen, had some starts also last year, but we're all going to remember his dominance in that postseason for the Houston Astros too.
Fastball up, it's 1-1. Be a big spot here for not only Dallas Keuchel, but obviously for the team. If Peacock can keep this at a 2-run game, still plenty of shots for the Astros as we play in the 6th. Down and away, 2-1. A lot of good sliders in this 2-at-bat sequence for Brad Peacock, and now the count's 2-2.
And it's a tough pitch for a guy like Teoscar Hernandez. We've seen a lot of his hits go to that left field area. If you're trying to yank that pitch, you got to get way over the outside corner or catch it before it breaks. But that is not easy to do.
Swing and a miss. Peacock strikes out 2 with the bases loaded and keeps this game at 6-4. Were Brooklyn, crafty lefty, and a 4-time All-Star. And if you send in the guest of John Franco, then you got it. John Franco, hometown Brooklyn, 4-time All-Star, 22 big league seasons. At one point he had the most saves for any lefty. Billy Wags may have gotten him.
Yeah. Did he get him, or is he a couple behind him?
To look that up now. Marwin Gonzalez will lead things off. John Franco the answer to name that Astro today.
Aaron Loop is now on the bump for the Toronto Blue Jays. Marco Estrada doing a good job. Through 5, gave up 4. Loop is a guy who throws pretty good. Kind of a funky sidearm delivery at 92 miles an hour.
Marwin getting a chance to bat right-handed for the first time. Grounds to short. Marwin 0 for 3 today and 1 for 26 in the homestand.
Some of the standards on Aaron Loop: 36 games he's pitched in, only thrown 27 innings. At ERA at 4.33, 28 strikeouts to 9 walks. Not too bad. He'll back up that fastball with a changeup, curveball, and a slider.
Here's Max Stassi. He's got great numbers against lefties this year. Swings and misses at that pitch. Astros down 2, batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Yeah, Johnny Franco still has, by 2, the most saves for a lefty. 424. Billy Wags ended up with 422.
Not too bad. Completely different styles. John Franco relying on that split finger a lot. Billy Wagner just came at you with absolute fuel.
Franco 5th on the all-time save list. Wagner 6th. Stassi fouls one back.
Billy Wagner still on the ballot? Hall of Fame ballot?
Should be. Trevor Hoffman, number 2, goes in this year. Lee Smith, number 3, he has not been inducted. Swing and a miss. Loop able to get Stassi on strikes. 2 away in the 6th.
Check out all the exciting July events and promotions at Minute Maid Park, including Kids Day, an Altuve Youth replica jersey, and a Verlander cake counter bobblehead. Visit astros.com/promotions for tickets and a full list of events.
Third on the left-handed saves list would be Randy Myers. Here's Tony Kemp. Lefty on lefty, takes that breaking ball for a strike. Both starters out of the game, both allowed 7 hits. Marco Estrada in 5 innings of work. Dallas Keuchel in 5 1/3 innings. Keuchel allowed 6 runs, Estrada 4. 3 of those were earned. Kemp bounces 1 foul. Tony down to the count 0-2. Even though there was an error involved in the run scoring last inning, it still counts as an earned run against Dallas because you cannot assume a double play as Kemp goes down swinging, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 6th. Strong inning for Aaron Loop out of the Toronto bullpen.
have a straw poll. We asked you through 81 games, who is your overall Astros first half MVP? And 38% of you said Justin Verlander, with Jose Altuve coming in second. Alex Bregman with a nice showing as well. Thanks to everyone who took part in the voting on this, but Verlander obviously having a great first half of the season, guys, and he will pitch in this Rays series his next outing.
Yeah, hard to argue with a guy who leads baseball in almost every category pitching-wise. Verlander still with that sub-2 ERA. Tough call. 3 guys got a lot of votes. Alex Bregman in the what have you done for me lately category, all of a sudden jumping to almost 30% of those votes.
Yeah, a lot of those are going to be recent votes, but it probably wouldn't even be close if in about 5 or 6 of those starts, if Justin Verlander got about 2 or 3 runs scored for him, that record would be off the charts.
Brad Peacock in his first full inning of work came on in a big spot and picked up 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded, getting Grichuk and Hernandez last inning. JV has not had much run support at all. Ball sent the other way by Solarte. Tony Kemp giving it a look, and it's in the corner, and Tony Kemp in foul territory makes the play. Kind of disappeared in that corner, and Solarte is out number 1.
Yeah, that's the Bermuda Triangle from our vantage point. Luckily, we've got some folks on it, but not giving up on that play. Tony Kemp, that was nice.
Ended up playing bumper pool after he made that catch. Steve Pearce was scheduled to bat, but he's going to be pinch hit for. Curtis Granderson will hit. Granderson was one of the hitting stars on Monday night when he hit 2 home runs against Verlander. Takes a called strike here.
Yeah, a little bit different story yesterday against Charlie Morton.
Struck out 3 times.
Charlie did that to a couple of guys yesterday. He was vicious with that curveball.
How was Charlie post game when you saw him?
I just so happened to be in the tunnel when he came out of the clubhouse to say hi to his family, and I said, "Man, Charlie, you look great tonight. It was awesome." Then he goes, "Yeah, I guess it went pretty good." And I couldn't help it. I horse laughed right in front of him because that's just Charlie Morton. I don't know what I was expecting, but he answered in pure Charlie Morton fashion, just kind of like, "Yeah, it went all right."
Thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, he really got deep and philosophical on me, and then just said, "Yeah, went pretty good." You know, does he realize he was 1 strikeout away from tying his career high in strikeouts? You know, stuff.
And before this year, he'd never had 13 before.
Yeah.
He was great in the post-game media session too. One of the questions was about if the curveball is a big pitch when he gets a lot of strikeouts, and he said, "Well, yeah, I get a lot of swings and misses with the curveball, so I guess it is a big pitch when I get strikeouts."
It's almost kind of he's kind of manipulating the conversation to be like, "Yeah, duh." My curveball's awesome, but he's so subtle about it.
There's hugs for home runs, and apparently there's massages for strikeouts.
Yeah, be careful on that right shoulder, man.
We have somebody that can do this.
Yeah,
on the team.
Looks like fun.
Oka's our massage therapist, but Lance taking over at least in game.
Lance trying to go in there and get some of those strikeouts for his own.
That's a good call. Well, another battling at bat from Curtis Granderson. That's nothing new. This 37-year-old gets to 2 strikes and doesn't give in very easily. Both of his home runs on Monday came with 2 strikes. That time, Peacock gets him with the slider. That slider's been good today. Peacock has struck out 3 of the 4 batters he has faced. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. 2-out space is empty. Here's Kendrys Morales. Fastball misses. Morales, a sacrifice fly his first time up. Also a couple of ground outs to shortstop. On the ground to the shortstop, who's playing on the second base side, Marwin Gonzalez, and that'll do it for the Toronto Blue Jays. 7th inning stretch time. Astros down 2.
On George Springer, another pretty good game in that first half of the season. 6 hits in this ball game against the Oakland A's. The Astros also did big things, scoring 16 runs. They added on 14 more hits to George's 6 for 20 hits in that ball game. Season highs so far for the Houston Astros back on May 7th.
One of the big moments in the first half of the season. Even Jose Altuve had to bow down to his buddy George Springer. And after the game, Altuve saying, "That's crazy. Who can get 6 hits?"
Said the guy who's never had a 5-hit game.
That was quite a night in Oakland Coliseum. See if Springer can get things rolling here for the Astros in the 7th. Down 2 at 6-4. Astros are trailed ever since the top of the first inning. They have seen a deficit go from down 5 to now down 2 as Joe Biagini takes over in the 7th.
Biagini threw in the 7th inning on the 25th. He threw 23 pitches in that outing. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, changeup, curveball, slider.
Faced the same part of the lineup here as he is today with George Springer, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve. He struck out Springer in the game on Monday. Also got Altuve looking at a called third strike and walked Bregman. Astros down 2. They were down 2 after the first inning. It was 5-3 after 1. Astros added a run in the 5th to make it a 1-run game. Toronto scored a run in the 6th to push it back to a 2-run lead. George has reached on catcher's interference, scored a run, soft line drive out, and then a fielder's choice his last time up. Ball into center field, sending Pilar back. He is to the track. He is at the fence, and he makes the catch right in front of the wall. Springer just missed one to deep center.
Got some league leaders brought to you by Houston Methodist. Highest run differential in the first 81 games of a season in Major League history. Well, it's since 1930. I apologize. 39 Yankees on there at plus 230. The Houston Astros having a great start to this season through 81 games with a run differential of 173. A lot of that has to do with a very good offense and a very good pitching staff.
39 Yankees, 37 Yankees, 44 Cardinals all won the World Series. Alex Bregman, the batter. 44 Cardinals had Stan the Man Musial. The 37 Yankees had Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio. So we're talking about some of the great teams of all time. And now the Astros fourth at the midway point of the season in run differential. Best mark in almost 75 years. Bregman slowly hit towards third. Solarte is there. His throw across in time. Alex now 2 for 4 with a couple of doubles. He's the second out of the 7. Well, 2 outs, nobody on. Jose Altuve will bat. Jose walked, scored a run. He grounded out and also fly to center. Slowly hit towards third. Altuve hustling down the line. Bare hand play. Good try by Solarte, but he throws it wide. Altuve has an infield hit. It's now hits in his last 13 starts for Altuve, an overall 7-game hitting streak.
Things have been going good on this homestand for Jose Altuve. Struggling a little bit today. But anytime that ball is slowly hit on the infield grass with the speed of Jose Altuve, usually turns into a base hit. This is his 12th hit on this homestand.
111 on the season for Altuve. That'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yuli during this homestand has been hot and cold. He had that average up to 311 after his second at bat on Monday. Since then, he is 0 for his last 10. It's gone from 311 down to 299. Overall, though, a good homestand with 8 runs batted in the first 8 games. This one chopped foul, and Yuli down on the count 0-2. Great job by Brad Peacock today, keeping this game at 6-4. Striking out 2 with the bases loaded, then a 1-2-3-7. Altuve on the move. Gurriel checks his swing. The throw by Maley's high. Jose has a stolen base, his 12th. And he's now in scoring position.
Just a matter of time. Jose Altuve usually pretty aggressive out there. Stole that base easy. Now for some 2-out lightning from Yuli.
Yuli has 2 of his 4 home runs on the season during this homestand. Sometimes hitting one into the Crawford boxes. If Yuli keeps the inning alive, the new franchise leader in RBIs in the month of June, the history of the team is waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. Yuli goes down swinging here to end the 7th inning. Toronto still leads 6-4. Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by T-Mobile. Show your military appreciation and use the hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. 8th inning baseball, Astros down 6-4. Kevin Pillar, who's had a good game for the Blue Jays, leads off against the new pitcher for the Astros, Ken Giles.
Ken Giles on the mound, pitched on the 24th, won an inning, had a strikeout through 14 pitches. He does have 11 saves on the season. A little bit different situation here for him. He has a 9.11 strikeout per 9-inning rate.
Pillar 3 for 3 today against Dallas. Keuchel had 3 of the 7 hits allowed by the Astros left-hander. Last 2 to right field as he takes a strike from Giles. It'll be Pillar, Aledmus Diaz, and Luke Maile. First 3 here. 6, 7, 8 spots in the Blue Jays lineup. Bregman easily to his left, makes the play for out number 1. Quite a job turned in by Brad Peacock today, facing 5 batters, retiring all 5, 3 of them with strikeouts, and 2 of them strikeouts with the bases loaded. Here's Diaz. He had a couple of hits against Dallas. Takes a called strike. Diaz normally does not see many pitches in a plate appearance. Very aggressive hitter. Took that first pitch, but he'll probably be swinging anything close here. 0-2. Good slider there from Giles. On the ground, knocked down by Giles, slides and makes a throw, but late. Giles lost his glove on the way to try to recover after knocking that ball down. That'll be the 3rd hit of the game for Aledmus Diaz.
It's a good job of knocking it down by Ken Giles. It just unfortunately bounced away. Bring out the trainer and A.J. Hinch to check on him. Kind of ricocheted off that glove side. Gave it a pretty good effort.
Quick check of Giles, and he's fine. Infield hit for Diaz. 6 and 7 hitters in the Toronto lineup have 6 of their 8 hits today. Pillar and Diaz combining for 6 hits. Here's Luke Maile. Maile hit the ball hard a couple of times. Sacrifice line drive to left. Sharply hit ground ball to Barwin, and he walked his last time up. Takes a pitch down and in for a ball. Astros wrapping up a 9-game homestand today. 6-game, 7-day road trip. They will head to Florida after this game and play the Tampa Bay Rays for 4. Off day on Monday, then 2 with the Rangers. Then back home a week from tomorrow for an 11-game homestand. Giles misses with a fastball to Maile. It's 3-0.
You gonna hang out with us in Tampa?
Yeah, A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. When you have to.
Mix it up.
Yeah, when you have to. At the ballpark.
Maybe a golf course.
We have to entice you with a tee time. Going back home.
Yeah, always good to see friends and family that live down there. My wife has family that still lives in the area, so we'll catch up with them. But yeah, 20 years. I've actually lived in the Tampa Bay area longer than any other place in my life, so some good friendship bonds through the years. Up the middle, Altuve deflects it. It goes into center field for a hit. Maley hit the ball hard today and now has a hit to show for it. He's now 1 for 3. Look Ahead is brought to you by Wells Fargo. On the road this year, A.J. Hinch's team has a 10-game winning streak, and on the season, they scored a lot of runs away from Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, it seems like here at Minute Maid Park, they just try and scratch out some wins, and then they go on the road and absolutely go into destroy mode. Almost 2 runs more per game on the road. The average jump, the OPS jumps, but the pitching still maintains itself, holding the opponent down to a 208 average. There's one thing you definitely can count on here at Minute Maid or on the road.
Called strike to Devin Travis. Well, a couple streaks will be on the line tomorrow. The Astros' 10-game road winning streak, and the Tampa Bay Rays have won 8 straight at home. Ground ball towards third. Bregman to second for 1. Altuve, the turn, double play. Giles gets through the 8th with a double play, and the Astros trail 6-4.
The Miller Lite hold true moment, and Evan Gattis, another moment in June where he is driving in runs. 2 doubles on the evening or on the afternoon. That one drove in 2. This one drove in 1. And with those 3 RBIs, it puts Evan Gattis at 30 RBIs in the month of June, setting a franchise record for runs batted in a month. Evan Gattis due up this inning, trying to continue it against these Toronto Blue Jays, where they trail by a couple of runs, and a new pitcher in the ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays will be ex-Astro, who just picked up his World Series ring the first game of this series, and this will be his first appearance in this series. Tyler Clippard.
Yeah, Clippard able to get that World Series ring, and appearing in this game, in his 40th game for the Blue Jays. He was one of those guys that hadn't been signed in spring training, signed late. And now he's become a key weapon in the bullpen for John Gibbons. Had pitched in 3 straight games in that Angels series prior to facing the Astros. One of Blummer mentioned just the first appearance in this series. And he'll face the red-hot Evan Gattis, who swings and misses at that first pitch. 16 games Clippard appeared in with the Astros last year. Evan 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in. Has the season total up to 54 RBIs. Springer and Correa had been bouncing back and forth as the team leader in RBIs for a while this year, but now Gattis 5 in front of Carlos Correa for the team lead. Six outs to work with for the Astros, down by 2. Tried to check that yellow bat, but he goes around. Unique looking bat.
It is very unique. Reminds me of the tree trunk of a sassafras tree. Beautiful leaves on that tree. Also can develop a pretty good taste for root beer using the sassafras tree.
Up and in to Evan. It's 2-2. Called third strike. Throws Gattis there on the breaking ball.
Yeah, when Tyler Clippard's going good, he's got a very good split-fingered fastball, change up early on, but that one just tumbles into the zone. Out of his hand, it looked like it was going to be elevated. Kind of a funky rotation to that. It's almost a pitch where you pull the spin rate off and it creates that tumbling action.
I'm not sure what pitch that was. That was, even in the replay, it was hard to tell. Here's Josh Reddick, takes one outside for a ball.
Yeah, he throws that changeup more than that split, because really for me that rotation was reminiscent of a split, but elevated in the zone, kind of threw Evan Gattis off.
And it had a little cutting action. Cut away from Gattis. Josh with a count of 1-1. Both Clippard and Teoscar Hernandez given their World Series rings prior to this series. Now Josh down to the count 1-2. Reddick retired his last time up, but he's still 10 for his last 15. $39,191 in attendance today. A huge Wednesday afternoon crowd. Many will stay and watch the Sandlot on El Grande here after the game. Chance to watch the movie on the big screen and hanging out on the field where the Astros and Toronto Blue Jays have just played a game. We had a little movie promo leading into our broadcast today. That was pretty good.
We did. Having some fun with Brownie.
Brownie spilling popcorn on us.
Yeah, he thoroughly enjoyed shooting that little segment that we put together.
Some tough pitches in this inning, freezing Evan Gattis and now Josh Reddick. Reddick didn't think it was a strike.
Kind of have a feeling it's off that outside corner, maybe down.
Yeah.
Man, but that was more of the traditional changeup that he turned over because it was tailing away off the plate.
Josh knew it was probably off the edge, but the call goes against him. And here is Marwin Gonzalez. Pulling the string again to start this at bat. He's ahead 0-1. Marwin has flied to center, grounded into a double play, and grounded to short.
And you know Tyler Clippard knows that the Astros hit the fastball very well. Probably that's why he's going to some of those off-speed pitches.
Trying to get in to Marwin with the last two pitches off the plate.
Astros have had a tough time with the American League East. Record only 10-9 coming into this game.
High fly ball, pretty well hit right field. Grichuk back, he's at the wall. This ball's gone! Marwin Gonzalez! Home run number 6 on the year, and we have a 1-run game.
Good old hanging changeup, get you right back into things.
Marwin snaps an 0 for 23 with a home run. All 6 of his home runs this year have been as a left-hand hitter.
Wait for it. Wait for it. It's going to be tough because Tony Kemp is on deck.
Oh, the hug?
Yeah.
Here's Max Stassi. Astros down 6-5 now. They crept within a run when Gaddis doubled in Alex Bregman to make it 5-4. Now Marwin once again puts them within a run. Been an uphill battle all day long. Astros were down early 5-0 before their first AB. Scored 3 in the first. Now once again bringing the tying run to the plate. Hector Rondon and Will Harris warming up for the Astros. Oh, one pitch is a called strike.
Astros do a good job from the 7th inning on. Again this season, they were very good at it last year, but this season, from that 7th inning on, that batting average is a .272 for the Houston Astros.
Bounces up there and catches Maley up on the upper part of his right arm. Seventh home run allowed by Tyler Clippard in 38 innings of work this year. Max stays alive.
Max had a good pass at that pitch, but didn't have as good as Marwin did. Hanging changeup, did a good job of head down, extending through that pitch. There's a moonshot into the bullpen. Javier Bracamonte, bullpen catcher, retrieving that one.
Inside corner, called third strike. Clippard strikes out 3 in the inning, but Marwin pulls the Astros within a run on the solo home run.
Leaning back on one, it's been a struggle, but at least when he connects, it's a big one.
Hey, you gonna eat that thing?
I was sure thinking about it until you put your mitts all over it.
Well, I'm hungry. Popcorn? No selfie. Hey, who's winning? Hey, where did everybody go?
That's the first time we've seen these.
That's good stuff.
Oh, classic.
You just mad mugged Bill Brown. That was awesome.
Brownie ate 5 tubs of popcorn that day.
He did. We put him to work.
We haven't seen him since. Breaking ball to start the 9th inning. Randall Grichuk, top of the order, facing Will Harris.
Will Harris on again. Didn't go so well last time out against these Toronto Blue Jays. Went an inning and a third, gave up a couple of runs.
Ground ball, backhanded Bregman from foul territory. The throw gets away, bounces past Yuli Gurriel. Bregman almost a phenomenal play. Good job just to stop that ball from going down the line.
Well, it's good to know Alex is human. Because I almost anticipated that play being made. He's done it so many times and made it look effortless. This was a little bit tougher hop. Kind of an in-between hop. You can see him backhand on that short hop. But an extended throw, when that throw gets up the line into that runner, that's where it gets a little iffy for the first baseman. Yuli does his best to try and hang in there. But that could have caused some serious damage. He actually held in there longer than I thought he would.
Here's Teoscar Hernandez fouling one back. Grichuk, a leadoff base runner. Now 2 for 5 in the game. Teoscar 0 for 3 with a walk today. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Harris allowed those 2 runs with the Randall Grichuk home run on Monday night. Grichuk with a single here to start the inning. And Will check him at first. Down the plate. Teoscar stays alive. Astros trying to keep it at 6-5. They will have Tony Kemp, George Springer, Alex Bregman due up at the bottom of the 9th. And beyond that, Jose Altuve and Yuli Gurriel and Evan Gattis. Also have Carlos Correa on the bench. Not sure if AJ would want to go to him today with that little lingering back issue that's kept him out of the starting lineup the last 2 days. Blue Jays closer Roberto Osuna has been suspended for half of the season, and while he's been out, Ryan Tepera has been the closer for the Blue Jays. He is warming up in their bullpen. Or at least has already warmed up. Two and two the count. 5 1/3 innings from Dallas Keuchel. Brad Peacock stellar in 5 outs, facing 5 batters, striking out 3. Keeping the bases loaded, getting out of a 1-out bases loaded jam in the 6th. Ken Giles worked around a couple of hits in the 7th inning. excuse me, in the 8th inning with a double play to end that inning. Now ground ball towards Altuve. He'll step on the bag and make the throw. Double play. Jose Altuve turns 2 and helps out Will here in the 9th.
That's a perfectly placed ground ball off the bat of Teoscar Hernandez. Altuve with the quick pick. Step on the bag, throw back across his body to get that out.
Here's Jan Hervis Solarte. Harris faced him on Monday night, got him to pop up for the final out of the 7th inning. Last time the Blue Jays were in town last season at the end of a series, it was also a getaway day. And the Astros ended up coming from behind and walking off with a victory. Juan Centeno finished off that comeback. That was a 3-run deficit. Solarte holds up. It's 2-1. That was the day that not only did Juan Centeno get covered up in Gatorade, but Julia Morales did as well in the post-game interview. Jumped on the flight wearing a bunch of gear from the Astros team store.
Oh, that game. She got crushed. That was a lot of, yeah, she might have gotten on the plane looking like a Smurf if she didn't change. It's that blue Powerade or whatever it is.
3-1 to Solarte. That's a strike. Solarte thought it was off the edge, and the count's full.
Is she going to be on this trip?
She's back.
That means my Twitter feed will slow down a little bit. A lot of people concerned with her whereabouts.
Just normal scheduled time off. Ground ball. Will Harris, the former infielder, with fancy glove work there, ends up getting through the 9th. Astros down 1. Toyota, first half. We had some walk-offs. Alex Bregman on a pop-up with Derek Fisher flying in from second base. That worked out well. And then Bregman again against Tampa Bay earlier in this homestand.
He's been clutch. Sometimes you need a little bit of help. We got another one, and Carlos Correa, 7 career walk-offs for him. We've seen a couple of them go to that right center field gap, but they always create opportunities by having base runners on. They're looking to do the same here.
Astros 5-3 on this homestand. 2 of those 5 wins have been walk-offs. They'll try and do it again today. Alex Bregman is due up third in this inning. It'll be Tony Kemp leading off against the new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, Ryan Tepera.
Tepera last pitched on the 24th. He went an inning and a third, throwing 19 pitches. He has 6 saves and 10 opportunities. We'll come at you with a fastball in the mid-90s. Change-up, curveball, and a slider.
Kemp is 1 for 3, a single, a couple of strikeouts today. And he swings to the first pitch and fouls one back. Astros being out hit by the Blue Jays 10-9. Both teams have left 6 men on base. Astros have never led in this game, down 1 into the bottom of the 9th inning. Alex Bregman walked that game off earlier in the homestand against Tampa Bay. They had never led the entire game until that swing by Bregman. Ground ball, base hit. Astros have a runner on. Tony Kemp, his second hit of the game.
This guy's been awesome since he's been recalled. We talk about his on-base percentage being up over 400 in the last 21, 22 games. And he's still a guy that's relatively aggressive in the zone early in counts. He's not a passive hitter. We heard his approach is I swing at strikes, I take balls. So if he gets a pitch he's looking for in the zone, he's usually on the attack. And getting hits.
Fans are buzzing right now. George Springer at the plate. 10th hit of the game for the Astros. Kemp a threat to steal. He's 3 of 4 in stolen bases at the big league level. Also stole 13 bags while with Fresno. Fastball 94 for a strike. George 0 for 3 today, reaching on a catcher's interference. His first time up, scoring the first run for the Astros. Tepera has faced Springer 3 times. He has struck him out twice and walked him once. Bounces away. Kemp to second on a wild pitch. The tying run moves up 90 feet.
Getting a little help to get into scoring position. Now you've got a runner in scoring position, nobody out. Tepera yanked that. Haley doing everything he can. Ricocheting it straight up in the air. Easy read for Tony Kemp.
He had a great jump as soon as that pitch was in the dirt.
We've seen that a lot from Astro base runners, really leaning towards that base in front of them, trying to advance on the ball in the dirt. Anticipation is key.
Been a tough homestand for George, just 1 RBI in the previous 8 games. That came on a solo home run. But a chance here to pick up a huge run batted in. Maybe 2. Fastball in, 2-1. George hit a double last night to snap an 0 for 20 in his final at bat.
Go ahead and try it. Tony Kemp's got a big lead out there, but he's still quick enough to get back. It's not like leading off at first base. It takes a pretty good while for a pitcher to turn around and try and make a good throw to second base.
Ooh,
man,
almost hit. I was going to say, almost bounced another one away. That was a great play by Maley to keep Kemp at second base.
Some say good, some say lucky. That was very similar to the one that got away from him earlier.
Now the crowd standing all the way around the lower bowl and in the upper deck. Springer with a 3-1 count. Shot foul at the plate.
Really trying to bust him down and in. And that might be because they figure he might be trying to move the runner, hit something the other way, but at the same time, George isn't your normal leadoff kind of maneuver the ball around the ballpark type guy. You make a mistake trying to come in and leave one out over the plate. Even as bad as George has been going, he still has the potential to get the barrel to it and put this thing out of reach.
Fly ball to left field. He got under it. Way up in the air. It's heading towards foul territory. And it's caught with a slip on the dirt. Teoscar Hernandez, a strange route to that fly ball, puts it away for the first out.
Yeah, kind of drifting to it, keeping his eye on it. Once he gets to the warning track, all of a sudden he was on ice. Watch the facial expression. Oh boy. Whew. Gosh, that is not a good feeling.
Well, based on recent at-bats, I'm not sure you'd rather have anybody at the plate more than Alex Bregman.
No doubt.
2 doubles today, 3 doubles and a home run last night. Bregman in his last 8 at-bats has 6 extra base hits. A single should be enough to tie the game with Kemp's speed at second.
No doubt. And we've already talked about Pilar's arm out in center field. They are going to test him. Teoscar Hernandez, we've seen them challenge his arm. Those are the first 2 you think of. If Grichuk has to move to his right or left, they may challenge him too.
Swing and a miss. Missed the fastball at 95.
Now, we talked about Evan Gattis and his 30 RBIs this month. Alex Bregman has 24.
Oh, 2.
Tepera's doing a great job of getting into that inside corner to right-handed hitters. That arm side fastball is showing some fearlessness, challenging these guys inside. That's something they're unaccustomed to here at Minute Maid Park, considering Crawford boxes are looming over your right shoulder. It's been fastballs in, sliders away.
Astros crept within a run on a Marwin Gonzalez solo home run in the 8th against Tyler Clippard. Now Tepera on with the tying run on second and 1 out in the 9th. Alex drives one deep to left field. Ball game over. With 3 of the 4 walk-offs this season for the Astros, and that man is red hot.
I can't get enough of these guys. The ball player walking them off today here at Minute Maid Park to end an extremely fun homestand.
5 doubles, 2 home runs his last 2 games, and Bart Ennis is with the hero. Go ahead, Bart.
All right, Todd, thanks a lot. Alex Bregman with a tremendous last couple of days. I don't know if you ever faced Matera before, but what are you looking for there?
Well, he blew me away with 2 heaters, so I better be on time for the heater, and just was fortunate enough to put a good swing on it.
This game is indicative of the type of team you guys are, Alex. You know, Kent gets you started with the base hit to lead off the inning. You've always got somebody in front of you keeping the line moving.
Everybody in this clubhouse is a competitor, and that's...
That's an early shower.
That's what we do. We just compete. We compete, we have fun. There's a reason why we won the World Series last year. We just keep battling.
This has been a lot of fun for you guys. Now you head to Tampa. It's a hot team out there. Got to keep it going, right?
Got to. They're a good team. We got to keep battling and keep playing hard.
Great game, man. Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Alex Bregman getting the job done under pressure today, as he's been doing this entire series, guys. It's been phenomenal to watch. Back up to you.
No, it was great because he had a game plan. He knew he was getting busted up and in, and he swung underneath a couple of fastballs, and you heard him. I needed to get my hands on top of the baseball, and he did. And nobody hotter than Alex Bregman right now. And nobody loves the spotlight more than this guy.
5 doubles, 2 home runs in his last 9 at-bats. That's 18 total bases. That's a 2,000 slugging percentage, and his second walk-off of this homestand, and both times they had never led the entire game until Bregman's swing. Back with more after this.